Hello everyone. Now we are going to dive into one of the most critical soft skills for any AI governance professional, communicating AI risk to non-technical executives. In professional terms, this is the process of executive risk reporting, where complex technical vulnerabilities and algorithmic uncertainties are translated into strategic, financial, and operational implications that align with corporate decision making. In simple words, it's about explaining robot math in a way that makes sense to people who care about business money. You've probably seen this at the office, where a brilliant data scientist shows a slide full of p-values and loss functions, and the CEO just stares blankly at their coffee. I like to think of it like being a specialized diplomat. You are the bridge between the server room and the boardroom. Stay with me here, because if you can't explain the risk, you won't get the budget to fix it. When we talk to leadership, we must use business impact analysis, which is a method of quantifying technical risks in terms of their potential effect on an organization's bottom line, reputation, or legal standing. To put this in simple terms, it's about answering the question, how much will this mistake cost us? Let's break this down together. Instead of saying, our model has high variance, you tell the executive, this AI might accidentally reject 10% of our best customers, which could cost us 5 crores rupees in lost sales. I once worked with a chief privacy officer who tried to explain data drift to a board. No one listened until she reframed it as a brand reliability threat that could trigger a regulatory audit. Suddenly, everyone was taking notes. You have to pivot from how it works to why it matters to the company's survival. To make these conversations efficient, we rely on a risk heat map, which is a graphical representation of the likelihood and severity of various AI risks, designed to help executives prioritize where to spend their time and resources. In simple words, it's a traffic light for your company's problems. You've probably seen these in other parts of the business, but for AI, they are magic. If you show a leader a red box in the top right corner labeled unfair bias in hiring, they immediately understand that this is a drop everything and fix it moment. I remember a session where we had 20 different AI risks to discuss. The executives were overwhelmed until we put them on a heat map. They ignored the green low priority tech bugs and focused entirely on the red zones that threatened their legal compliance. It turns a confusing debate into a clear action plan. A key part of executive communication is risk opportunity balancing, which is the practice of presenting potential hazards alongside the strategic benefits of AI so that leadership can make an informed risk-reward decision. In simple terms, it's about explaining that governance isn't a brake designed to stop the car, but a seat belt that lets you drive faster safely. Let's break this down together. If you only talk about the ways AI can fail, the CEO will think AI is too dangerous to touch. Instead, you say, this AI can increase our efficiency by 30%, and here is the governance plan we've built to make sure we don't hit any legal potholes along the way. I've seen that executives are much more likely to fund your governance tools when they see those tools as enablers of a successful launch. Stay with me here. You aren't the no person, you are the how-to person. To provide context, we use competitive benchmarking, which is the process of comparing your organization's AI risk profile and governance maturity against industry standards or direct competitors. In simple words, it's telling the boss, here is what the neighbors are doing. You've probably seen how competitive leaders can be. If you tell an executive, our main competitor just got fined 50 crore rupees for the exact same AI mistake we are trying to avoid, they will listen. I once used a benchmarking slide to show that our rivals were investing twice as much in responsible AI as we were. The CEO didn't want to be seen as the least ethical player in the market, and we got our budget approved the next day. Peer pressure is a powerful tool when you're trying to move a large organization. The final peak of executive communication is the executive summary for AI governance, a concise, high-level document that distills complex audit findings into three things: what is happening, why it's a risk, and what decision is needed right now. In simple words, it's the TLDR, too long didn't read, for the boss. As a governance professional, you have to be brief. A CEO might only give you 5 minutes between meetings. I've learned that the most effective reports are one page long with clear bullet points and a very obvious call to action at the bottom. I tell my students all the time, if you can't explain the AI risk in 3 sentences, you don't understand it well enough yet. When you can deliver that kind of clarity, you become a trusted advisor to the leadership team.